Hey guys, welcome to Gameffine. This is Assassin UD and today we're going to be talking about much more awaited Ghost Recon Breakpoint November update. Now this update will not bring any new story missions or any story based or narrative content, but this will bring many minor and major update that is very crucial in the future of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. We will cover everything from short to big slowly since we have a lot to cover, so stay with me and let's get right into it. Starting off with main updates, you will now deal more damage in stealth. That means your guns will deal more damage if you continue to maintain your stealth. This is a good way to reward players who prefer a stealth type of approach. Next, grenades can now be cooked, which is really important to the Ghost Recon experience since before grenades were only used for taking enemies out of cover and then shooting them down, but now grenades can be used as an actual lethal weapon of war. Weapons can now also be dismantled, however this is only for the players who prefer to play in the immersive mode. And additionally, all the players can now renew the paint, which means if your weapon skin has a scratch, the paint can be refurbished. And lastly, now you can choose if syringes heal your injuries or not. This is better for giving a more impactful experience, and people can choose if they want their minor or major injuries to be healed just by syringes or not. Enemies have been tweaked a lot by Ubisoft, and I think these are pretty much very important updates. Enemies will now reload. Yes, they will now run out of bullets and not spam the bullets on you. Instead, while they reload, this is your good opportunity to shoot them down. Secondly, detections have been tweaked. Their range, their alertness depends on how much alerted they are, but they have been significantly tweaked for a better experience. Enemies take longer to communicate, which is important. If an enemy spots you, the next moment you know the whole camp knows your location and everybody is alerted. But if an enemy knows your position and if you take him down before he can communicate, you are still good to go. And finally, a really important thing which I personally love, thank you Ubisoft, God bless you, enemy mortars are now less precise, which means if you have a good cover, there's really a chance that you have to go away from it because the mortars will now not accurately spam you in every 10 seconds. Also a quick side note that you can now mass sell your resources in Maria's shop. Next up is drones. We all hate it personally, and I think it's a reason the game got ruined, but nevertheless Ubisoft has tweaked them. The Dragonfly and the Ogre both have been tweaked so that they can be hit easily. Their pattern, their movement time, all of them have been tweaked, and basically they are a lot less of a headache right now. World parameters have some major changes. Basically you can alter between these world events and relive it whenever you want. You can also choose between the drone presence between classic and reduced. Alternatively, Azrael drones can also be tweaked between classic and none. So for people who don't really like Azrael drones flying over them once in a while, this option's for you. Also, helicopter presence can also be reduced from classic to none, and I think that's fine for me, but still if you don't like helicopters patrolling, you can turn them off. UI and accessibilities have been tweaked a lot. You can now hold additional items in your weapon weave, which is a much needed update because previously you had to choose between which devices and tools to keep and which not, but now with a bigger slot you have a larger option of picking items. Also, you can set keybinds for each items in the weapon wheel in the KBM so that they are easier to access. Class progressions also have received an update. Class ranks have been increased to level 20. New challenges have been added and the rewards are from the regular raid loots. And lastly, Golem Island is now open for exploration, both solo and co-op. However, raids can only be initiated by an actual 4-man squad. For exploration, boss fights are replaced with behemoths. Regular loot and regular raid items can be found as loot. More vehicles can be found in the island for exploration, however Golem Island unlocks only after No Way Out mission in the narrative. Additional missions and rewards are available for solo exploration. 2 more raid difficulties have been introduced, Easy and Hardcore. Hardcore, the much awaited update by all Ghost Recon fans all over the world. This hardcore mode will require to be at a gear level minimum of 150, a new heart system which has 4 hearts that replenishes over time, and can be used to respawn or revive your teammates. Boss fights will be harder, enemy level will be higher than regular. Boss fights will have less cooldown and more enemies, which will make a hard time for the ghost. 9 exclusive rewards can be earned by completing the hardcore raid, including the M82 Cerebrus, MK17 CQC, MGL Quantum, CSF Ibal, and 5 different titles including Heroic Dragon Slayer, Heroic Giant Slayer, Heroic King Slayer, Heroic Mind Slayer, and lastly Heroic Titan. And before we end this video, a last gift from Ubisoft. A new type of weapon tool has been added and it's called the Bullet Lure. A hand-thrown bullet casing is now available in the item wheel to lure the enemies. It is simple. You can throw a bullet out in the wild and enemies will be distracted towards it. You can choose this distraction as an opportunity and continue your Ghost Recon tactics. And one last surprise that includes the Darkest Night adjustment in the world parameter mode. You can actually set the environment of Aurora the way you want. The Darkest Night mode will offer a very realistic experience in the night mode, and treading in the forest of Aurora in the Darkest Night will be very dangerous. Make sure to have your night vision goggles with you. With that, we have covered everything that Ghost Recon November update has to offer, and personally I think this is really important and will shape the future of Ghost Recon Breakpoint positively. Let me know what are your comments and thoughts on this, and if I missed anything, go ahead and comment it down in the comment section. You can also check out the patch notes from Ubisoft's official website for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And thank you to Ubisoft for letting us play the early access. We'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.